This podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. You must be 18 or older to listen and or subscribe. Anything we say should not be used to diagnose or treat any medical or psychiatric condition. Do not use anything heard on this podcast as a replacement for professional help or an attempt to diagnose yourself or anyone else. We are not licensed professionals. We are not here to treat you. Any similarities to any persons alive or deceased are purely coincidental. We will not be held responsible for any actions taken as a result of anything heard on this platform. Okay, we're recording now. So
I'm going to ruminate about anything.
we're going to start it off on a little bit lighter topic. I don't know what order this is, but anyways, we're here with another episode of Kinky Campfire, aka Around the Kinky Campfire, aka that one podcast.
AKA your favorite podcast.
That's right. The shit we talk about, the stuff we shit.
Where we talk shit about the shit we don't want to talk about.
That one, yeah, that one. To my left, I have...
I'm on your left, Linux.
Yes. As you were this whole time, yeah.
And this is Dane.
We've lost her.
We have.
And I am Senior Prone Ebone.
Wow. Do you just sit around and just make lists and come up with these? Or is this like random spur of the moment? You actually have a list.
There's a list.
There is a list. And he's marking this one off the list.
That was the best reaction I could have. You took a second. It's like I have no other words, but wow.
I'm frozen.
No
I'm
other
just
words.
frozen now. I'm frozen in time because I'm done with like the introductions and I'm done with the name changes. I'm just done. I'm over it. I'm over
just
it.
Call me Senior.
I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna sit back and drink, and I'm gonna try to listen.
Senior Prone Ebone.
Can I be on a podcast and focus on my listening skills? I think so.
I mean, that's what I did pretty much the whole last one.
Yeah.
Somebody's
There
just
was
going on and on talking for me. I'm like, I guess so. Yeah, that's what I do.
No, I wasn't talking for you. I was retelling one thing you said, a story. It was something you said directly to me.
Snippet of a thing. Anyways, we're gonna lighten it up this time. I don't know. It's been a couple weeks in whatever world. So should we talk about like the current timeline? Like, let's lighten it up.
Okay.
Anybody got this is very fresh into the new year. It's a couple weeks in.
Okay.
Even though you're probably listening to this during the summertime. Anybody got some resolutions out there they want to talk about?
Oh, yeah. I don't make those.
I don't either.
No.
New Year? Nothing?
I like to just get rid of... I use New Year to get rid of old things, not necessarily to commit to new things.
I spring clean for New Year's.
Yeah.
Spring
Yeah, that's
clean?
it.
Yeah.
Because it makes room for
Winter
whatever
clean?
is going to...
Winter clean, spring
happen.
clean. Yeah.
Do you mean literally? Like clean
Yeah,
the
no,
house?
like literally.
Yeah.
I will clean out my closet. I will
'Cause the
donate
weather's finally
clothes.
good.
I will. Yeah. All of that.
Is that like an R. Kelly song? What was that? Clean out my closet?
It was Eminem.
Oh, I don't know.
Now? Oh, God.
I don't know. You sang it like funny.
God.
I don't know.
That's because he doesn't... Oh, never
I actually thought you just made
Anyways,
that
as
up.
you were
Yeah.
I thought you just made it up.
It's like
No,
20
I
years
don't.
old.
No,
Anyways,
I don't.
Anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I don't make New Year's resolutions.
Do you?
Just do it.
Just do what? No, I do it all year.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You just do it.
Yeah.
Do you make New Year's resolutions?
I mean, it depends. Depends on what it is.
Oh, you know what? You brought up something to me that you were making a New Year's resolution. You're going to have a new standard operating procedure in 2022. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, we're going to change some things up. Stuff's going to happen. We're going to put this out officially.
Okay.
Whatever the
Oh, this podcast.
fourth
Yeah.
Thursday or whatever it is.
Okay.
We're going to actually do things.
Ah, instead of just planning, it's going to be
Planning.
acting.
And it has to do with the whole I got to send you a video about resolutions, why it don't work. But we were talking about how you don't tell people what you're going to do.
Manifest in secret.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you understand that whole concept?
And why it's important.
Yeah.
Why it's important not to tell people what you're going to do?
Yes,
Yes.
because they give you the emotional,
Validation.
Emotional validation of saying like, hey, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And you get the emotional validation without actually doing anything.
You're looking for
Yes.
that
It's
is
like-
it dopamine?
Yes.
It's
And
like
then they
eating
give
a
it to you.
sugar cookie just because it makes you feel better, not because you really like it.
You got
Exactly.
it.
Or
yeah.
like saying, I'm gonna start going to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, and somebody's like,
Because
oh,
it
that's a
feels
great-
good to say it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you get the dopamine rush because somebody's like, oh, that's a
I'm
great
so
idea.
proud of you for doing it, but
Yeah.
you haven't actually.
But you haven't done it yet. So
It still hits the same dopamine.
it's a great Dr.
It
K
hits
video
the same.
that I'm thinking of. Yeah. So okay, at least we're all on the same part.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I do the opposite now. I manifest in secret because I am afraid of the criticism of other people, which will make me stop. And so I need to get enough momentum behind me that I hit like a certain escape velocity of my own confidence past my own insecurities so that I've already released the thing that I'm doing and the momentum is so deep, so strong behind me that anybody's opinion just won't
Doesn't
stop
matter.
me. Yeah, it's not going to matter anymore. I've hit a level of confidence that I'm past it. That's what normally when this like spiritual community says manifest in secret, that's what they mean. I know what he's laughing at. Okay, here's something cool too.
You don't know what I'm laughing at?
Yeah, I
I'm
do.
still laughing at wow because you couldn't see your face.
Oh, good.
You looked down and took a second. Just wow.
Wow. Good. As long as that's what you're laughing at.
What do you think I'm laughing at?
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as it was that, I'm good.
It's all about her. Something she did that I'm laughing about.
Yes, that's actually what I thought
Yeah.
I was laughing at. In a bad way. I thought
What do
he was making
you
fun of
got
me.
there? You got notes for us?
I thought he was making fun of me again.
Yep, making fun of
Oh, that's
Your
weird.
face.
Hold on a second. Network diagram. It happens to be on this back. We were talking about network diagramming because we were talking about a project management certification. And on the back of this scrap piece of paper I tore up my network diagram and it's on the back. So now I can show it to, what's your name today?
Senor.
Senor.
I can
Prone
show it
Ebone.
to Senor.
Anyways, you're squirreling. Go back
Senor
to
Bone.
what is on the what are you
Yeah,
showing
so on
us
the
here?
front of this piece of scrap paper, I wrote something today. Less planning, more doing. I have the nasty tendency to have 38 fucking journals and books and, Franklin Covey daytime planners and whatever. And I can make lists and the most beautiful bullet journals all day and night. And then do I actually implement anything from those schedules and journals? No. I'm the master of scheduling and making lists and doing fucking nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. So less planning, more doing. Scheduling, journals, and lists are actually, psychologically, a dissociative distraction. They are an illusion that you have control or that you're in control, and you end up spending more time scheduling to look busy instead of actually being productive.
I can see that.
Yeah. So for some people, that's what it is. So you get ADHD and we like office supplies a lot of the time and make all these lists and you never actually sit down, take 20 minutes, turn on a timer and do the thing that you scheduled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's one of my 2022 resolutions. Instead of just looking busy, I'm going to
2022. This is
actually
2022.
be productive, producing results that should be an output of that scheduling or planning. So more output, less lists.
Yeah, for me, if I make the list, then I get like emotionally happy. My dopamine goes off, and I've lost the energy.
Then you
So
don't actually do the thing, do you?
Yeah,
I don't make lists.
Good.
You just remember.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, what's
That's
your
amazing.
Myers-Briggs type? Do you know?
ENJ.
Are you a J?
JF?
ENFJ?
ENFJ.
ENFJ.
I think I'm ENFJ.
Yeah. You're an N, huh? Interesting.
Maybe.
Yeah. A lot of actually everybody in our
letter. EN.
S. ES. You might be an ESF something, but I bet you're an N because I remember I asked the group and everybody took the
wanna-
test, 16 personalities,
Yeah.
and everybody's an N and I'm an S. And it conflicts. So my friend group
Yeah.
uses their own intuition
Hey,
instead of
I remember taking it, but I don't remember.
you want to quickly go over what that is in like that 5 minutes?
Myers-Briggs?
For the people that don't know.
Myers-Briggs type indicator. The MTBI is a personality test that was developed by, I think, a mother-daughter team who studied Jungian psychology and Jungian archetypes of personality. So there are 4 scales: introversion and extroversion, sensing.
I am an ENTJ
You're an ENTJ. Nice.
-A.
Okay, I'm ESTJ-T, turbulent.
So extroverted, intuitive, thinking, judging, assertive.
Yes. Yeah, I'm turbulent. It's
My
bad.
strategy is people mastering.
Oh.
That's what it says.
Yours looks like mine. Mine's boss. I boss people around. Mine's like the organizer, the planner. It's the manager. They call me the executive. Anyway, yeah. I'm the head bitch in charge. It's basically the picture looks like the head bitch in charge. So it's the scales are introversion and extroversion, sensing, or using your intuition. That's the N. It's not I. They make it an N. So sensing, intuition, feeling versus thinking, and perceiving versus judging. And they don't mean judging like being judgmental. They mean judging more like liking things to be defined, pinned down, decided, like planning, lists, and schedules, which is why I just asked Dame what your Myers-Briggs type is, because Dame said, I don't like lists. Whereas Pro Bono, whatever the fuck his name is over here, and I,
Prone E-Bone.
So it says
we
that
make lists because we are
I
both
should know what that is.
we are both J's.
I'm
which
considered a
means-
commander.
Very judgy.
They're decisive people who love momentum and accomplishment. They gather information to construct their creative visions, but rarely hesitate for long before acting on them.
Ooh, God, I wish I had that.
If you guys ever want to, so the difference is one of the zillions of differences between me and you guys, and I have trouble with this in our friend group, is that I'm an S. And almost everyone, I actually don't know anyone in our friend group that is also an S. They're all N's, including both of you. So I'd really like to know how to interact better.
I'm an N-word.
Wow,
That's
you're
something.
not.
No.
Only to your high school friends. I would really like to know how to better communicate with N types, because I have a lot of trouble being an S type.
It says that perhaps it's best that we only make up about 3% of the population, lest they overwhelm the more timid and sensitive personality types that make up much of the rest of the world.
Like
Yes.
ISTJs.
Yes. Beat them sensitive people up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Strengthen them
This
up.
makes me sound ruthless.
Yes, I could see that. Yes. So shocking to me is personally, I've been trying to learn how to speak Spanish since high school. And yet, if I don't put it on the list, I still forget this. So it's been 20 years and I still forget this. How do you go about without making lists? Because I could be doing something for decades and forget to do it.
A
I don't-
list
unless
is
I write
a
it down.
calendar.
I keep a calendar.
Right.
And I have a Google calendar on my phone, and then I have a planner at work that matches my I have a paper planner and electronic planner. I have both because I keep different information in different things. So I have that. But here's why I don't make grocery lists. I can't stand them. I don't make lists. When I go on a trip, I don't make a list of to do or like what I need to take. And here's why: because if I put it on paper,
Yeah.
and I make the list,
Yeah.
it's not in my head. What if I lose the paper?
So you write it down and you lose whatever it is?
Like, what if I lose the paper?
Right. That's why you put it in your phone or something that you're not going to lose.
No.
Pretty wild fear. If you lose the paper, you just make a new list.
But what if I don't remember what was originally on the list because I didn't put it in my head?
Shit happens.
So writing it down
Your
doesn't cement it into your head more?
compartmentalization-
No.
Wow. Your compartmentalization ability must be incredible. That you can keep a whole list in your head over here somewhere and have it not distract you for like the whole day. I would ruminate on that list.
I
for,
go
like,
to the grocery store. If I don't write the list, I could go for
I'm screwed.
coffee.
Yeah,
I'll get everything but the coffee.
same.
I've never written a grocery list.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, I'll go
Wait,
and
you're
get
a P,
everything.
right? No,
No.
you're a J.
Okay.
Yeah, she's,
Wow. Oh, you like things decided, but not necessarily make lists. Okay, so you still make schedules.
that is incredible to me.
I wonder how
See, my
hard
thing
J
is,
and P you are. I would think you'd be a P.
If I write the list down,
Ps
then I
don't make
probably
lists.
won't need the list because I wrote it down and I'm visually I remember. But I still keep the list just in case I forget. But I put it in my phone because I'm not going to
I
lose my phone.
am 70% E,
Yeah.
54% T.
Okay.
So 50%.
No, 70% E.
70%
Yeah, I
E.
can see
Okay.
that, yeah.
Intuitive, 54%.
Really?
Thinking, 54%. Judging, 61%. Assertive, 69%.
Okay, so most of them are like 50-50.
You and I are both pretty hard on the EJ side, so we're similar in that.
Yeah.
And the N is in the middle, and your
I'm
F
super-
and T
I'm
are in the
super
middle. Yeah.
judgy.
Yeah,
I
I'm
need
an
to-
ESTJ, so I'm very close to you.
Yeah.
I need to.
But I can't make a list because then I rely on the list. What if I lose that list?
Can't rely on yourself again? You can't start over?
No, because I brain dumped.
That's a good point. There's a technique where you can brain dump, and it's
a testing technique.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
truly
brain
meant
dump,
to get rid of.
you only remember it long enough until you dump it where you need it, and then you
Exactly.
have the visual of it, and you don't need it in your head anymore. It's
Yep.
brain dumping.
Yep, there's
If
psychological.
I make a
techniques
list, I've brain dumped. And so what if I lose the list? I don't know that I can recreate it because I brain dumped it.
I did that in history class.
I was a math major. So it's a testing technique to brain dump.
Yeah, I did that. I would get A's on tests and be like, I don't remember how I got
Yeah.
But if you
dude,
took the test a
that's-
week later, you couldn't pass it.
No, absolutely not.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I did it again.
Those are lists to me.
Interesting. Not to me. Not to
Because
me.
I would rather, I'm more scared of losing the list than
making it.
than making it. Because I can remember.
Is there stuff you need to work on?
do
Like
you mean?
on a yearly basis? Like if I don't write it down or make it in my calendar to read a book, I'll forget
Okay, hold on.
to read the book.
I was going to tell you this. There's a huge difference between making a list and then scheduling the thing that you put on the list.
Well, no.
You
no.
have to put your list into a schedule or you're never going to do it.
No,
My
I have a
problem-
calendar that
No,
I have.
this is an ongoing weekly thing.
Yeah,
It's just
forget
if
the
I
list.
don't remember that I was like, oh, that's right, I'm supposed to read today. I don't do it.
Oh, but see, I read for fun.
You need to.
But you remember to read. But I'm saying there's
I read it, but I read before I go to sleep.
right. But I'm saying there's like different things you got
He
to
doesn't
do.
have a routine, so he's not going to remember. He's got to put it in. You got to put a reminder and an alarm on your phone. You have to schedule yourself like you have ADHD.
That's what I do. But my point is, no, I'm asking Dame. So do you not have stuff that you have to do ongoing? It doesn't matter what day it is. You just need to, like, if you got free time, it's like, oh, I got to do this.
No,
No. Do you have a lot of free time?
no.
Oh. See, my free time involves like reading. I could do reading. I could study Spanish. There's a few things I could do when I have like a free moment before
But
I
then
go to bed.
but if you're scheduling it, then it's not free.
I have to schedule those or I forget. I'll just start watching a TV show and it's like, oh crap, I was supposed to read today. Yeah,
So
that's why I
odd
got
to me.
I got to write
That
it
is
down.
so odd to me.
My
No.
memory. Do you realize like you guys are E? Like I can talk to people the very first time I meet them, and then they'll tell me their name. 2 seconds later, I forget it.
I won't remember their name, but I'll remember their face.
Yeah, their faces. That's why. That's
It
why I
might
got-
take me a little
Yeah,
bit to
that's-
remember their name.
Yeah, that's why I got to write it down. But I'm saying like stuff like that. My short-term memory is horrible. If there's any kind of memory or anything,
No, see, my memory is good, and it's scary good because I can remember things in conversation, especially things I hear, like things that happen in conversations. I'm able to be like, no, that's not what you said.
Nope.
You said this, and this, and they're like, no, I didn't say it. I'm like, no, literally, like there would be no reason for me to remember this if you hadn't said it.
how old are the conversations?
It depends.
Really?
Like
I don't remember what I
especially
did
work
yesterday.
related.
Oh.
Like if it's work related, if I'm in a meeting,
You want to talk about brain dump when that 5 o'clock happens? I love when people text me the next day. Is like, hey, remember when we were doing it? Like,
no, I can sit in a meeting and hear what the presenter's having. I would rather listen to them than read it. I want to listen to them here because if I hear it, then when the situation that it pertains to comes up, I'm going to be like, well, no, you said this.
nope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how my mind works.
So I'm just gonna believe whatever you said. If we talked about something, I'll just believe you because I don't even remember
Because
talking about it.
my defense is, why would I remember it if you hadn't said it? Like I had no reason to make this up.
Do you ever
Brain dump.
misremember things? Like you remember it the way you heard it, like the way you felt it?
No,
instead of what they
I
actually said?
misinterpret feelings behind what's said.
Okay, so you'll get the exact words, but
I'll get the words right,
think
but I
that it
might
came
not get
from
the
someplace.
meaning right.
Yeah, if you think it came
Because
from a
I
place
can
that it
I
didn't
can
come
spout back, no, you said this, and it made and they're like, yeah, but what I meant, I might have said that, but what I meant behind it was this, and then I'd be like, okay, that I didn't get. I don't always get the meaning behind it, but I'll remember the words.
Yeah, I'll just if you say so, I'll believe it. I don't remember what I did yesterday.
from. I wish he would do that with me.
That's not true. Because
It's a double-edged sword,
Most of our
because
conversations are in text. Thank you very much. If I
Most
see it,
people
I'll
remember
it.
how they felt when they heard something or how they felt when they said something, but they don't remember the words. So they're arguing emotions
Yeah, that's what I do. I hear something
because you could be like, well, you know, we could be in the middle of a fight and you're like, well, no, but you said You said that you hated my outfit.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
hear
like,
the aggression behind it, but I don't get the words right sometimes.
right. And I'd be like, well, no, what I actually said was maybe that's just not the right outfit for this occasion.
Yeah.
You're
I
hearing
don't like
that
when you
is,
wear
I don't
blue.
like that outfit.
Right.
So now you're all pissed off and you're bringing it back up 3 weeks later because I said something else about an outfit again.
Mm-hmm.
And you're bringing up the emotion of you're remembering I didn't like something that you put on.
Yes.
When all I said was maybe that's not the right outfit for the occasion.
Exactly. You just nailed my life right there.
Most
Yeah.
people remember the feelings behind the
I
words
do.
that are said, where I have a tendency to more remember the words. And sometimes
I'll
I'll
remember
get
it
the
if it's not
feelings wrong.
triggering. Like if it's work or something, or if it's if I'm listening to somebody's lecture or whatever. If it's a teacher, I can remember the words no problem.
Right.
If I'm already nervous, if I have some kind of like insecurity with the person, I'm already triggered, and so my attention is I'm looking for threats. So I'm
Right.
looking for them to be criticizing me somehow. And
Mo-
I'll take words and I'll think that they'll say it in one way, and I will interpret it this way, or I'll hear it in a way that it could be that the wording could be different if it was
Right.
meant maliciously. And they didn't actually say that.
I
Like, there's
conduct
one word
trainings with no
difference.
notes.
What the hell?
That I could do if I'm an expert at something. Yeah, I can
First
fucking
time you
rap.
do the training?
Depends on the training.
Yeah, you can just rap.
Yeah.
That's a very good. That's an extroverted thing
You
to
stick
be
to
able to do.
the points you're supposed to, or are you just like improvising?
It's an extroverted
I get everything
thing to
across.
do. You can externally process. So if you're talking, you can process and remember. You keep the list in your head.
Yeah. I keep the list in my head of
Yeah.
everything I want to go over.
Yeah.
I used to hold. I was in human resources, and I used to have to do the new hire orientation for the company that I worked with, which meant every week I would have anywhere from 10 to 75 people in a room that I would have to do this 3-hour new hire orientation with. I never had notes. I had a PowerPoint, but I never had notes.
Enough times, then yeah. But I'm talking about like the first time you didn't do it with notes.
I don't remember having notes.
What about if something they said, "Oh, you got to say this now, sexual harassment or something"?
But here's why. I created it.
Okay.
So I knew what the PowerPoint was prompting.
Okay, that's a little bit easier because you see the PowerPoint.
I've taught Violent One with no notes. I don't use notes when I teach Violent One.
Well, that's an experience thing too.
You're experienced in it. Yeah. There are steps, and they're kind of natural. So if you're comfortable with it,
There's a natural progression to teaching.
exactly. Yeah, you build
Depending
on
on
something.
what you're teaching.
You must be able to like
Yeah, if you're doing
spatially
it,
build. Are
the
you a
grocery
spatial
list
thinker or
is
linear?
more impressive to me.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know the difference
Could
between the
actually
two.
could actually be either. You're able to squirrel and then come back to a conversation. So
Oh no, that I can do.
I would think that's spatial, because I can do that too. And a lot of linear thinkers think I am just totally fucking out there and they can't follow at all.
I can
And
do
it's
it.
a problem.
Depending on what the topic is whether or not it annoys me.
Yes. Yeah, the annoyance part, some people just literally can't do it at all.
Oh,
And you lose them and they're like, I don't even know how you interact with people. And I'm like, spatial
But I
thinkers do it
also-
fine. I don't know what your problem
But
is.
see, I think better
linear.
on my feet. Like I do better
I do
improv.
too. Extroverts do because we process externally.
Yeah.
Generally.
I mean, I used to do debate.
Perfect. That would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
I actually love debating. Like I love doing it.
It's just conversing with a point.
And I mean, I do it at our local watering hole. I'll put
You
something
debate
out there.
constantly. Like that's how you talk.
Yeah.
You talk in debate.
Yes.
Yeah. So does everybody. Oh. So, okay. I have.
I mean, that's what it devolves into. It,
It
depends. I
devolves.
can't debate a side that I don't agree with, like Spider-Man versus Wolverine.
Oh, jeez.
So I'll just make it my own thing. But
I can. That's the traits of.
it depends on what it is. Can you debate a side you don't agree with? Yeah.
Now here, I'm laughing.
Unemotionally or emotionally?
I'm laughing because I can do it if I'm trying to piss the person off or prove them wrong.
Oh, so you're being
Devil's advocate.
Yes. If I'm doing it
Or
to prove a
Donald Trump.
point
I can.
against the other
Wow.
person.
I can do it then too.
I can
but-
do it.
Yeah, I can pretend to believe something
Yes.
and like lie to myself just to debate a separate
Yes,
side.
just to because I know the
man.
other person isn't capable of doing it, and I'm trying to prove a point. Yes,
Are you talking
I can
about
do that.
somebody
You've done that
specific?
before. I've seen that.
Are you talking about somebody specific?
Yes.
Sure.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I
Yeah, a
love
lot of the
doing
time
that.
you're
I
on the
love
same
doing that to
side
that
as them
too.
too, and then you'll take
actually,
the other side
personally,
just to
I
like,
agree with them.
Yeah.
But I want to see where they're coming from, and I want to see if they're just spouting bullshit or if
Usually.
this is something.
I'm so sick of people's bullshit in our own group that I love when you do that because you're purposefully getting them to see the flaw in their over like aggression about things.
It must be the way you do it because when I do it,
great.
I come off as a contrarian, and people are like, "Oh, you just like blah, 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 blah." I've had friends in our group.
Did you just
get
say your
mad
name?
again? God damn it. Yes, I've had friends in our group who, like get mad and then storm off and walk away.
Really?
Oh, you forgot this. You were sitting right there.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fiery people though.
Yeah, it must be something you
And
do.
it's
But,
over it's over stuff that
yeah, it's
I don't care
somebody
about.
specifically
it's
you
over
know.
geek stuff.
But you're talking about. Are you talking about somebody specifically when you do it?
No, I'm just talking in general.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about specific people that I've heard Dame have
Yeah, there's somebody in particular
Same-sided
that I
debate.
like
Interactions.
that I
Oh,
love
yeah.
watching you do it to because
oh yeah.
they are very fiery.
Yeah.
Yeah. That gets us back to that whole friends conversation.
I never
It's
thought
the
about the
friends thing,
fact that I talked in debate. I can talk in debate superficially, but like if I'm actually talking with somebody, like I can turn it off and on and off.
You do, yeah. You turn it on and off. If it's a
Yeah.
regular conversation, you don't do it.
No.
There are times I think you do it when you want to learn.
Oh yeah, because if I can push them, then they're going to give me something I don't know.
Exactly. It's almost like an interrogation. So your questioning is interrogative, and at first it is intimidating, but then you realize like, oh, she just wants to learn. It's just you. It's the way you're so interested that.
Well, and the fact that
it's
I'm
almost
quick
like
with
aggressive learning.
it. I've come to realize I'm very quick with
very
it.
quick, yeah.
I don't
I
give
love-
people a chance to think.
No,
I love when you do it too. It's great.
it's good though because it trips them up, and they have to give you a real answer.
Yeah.
So you're cutting through bullshit, and also you're like, I gotta learn quick. I'm a busy lady. Chop chop.
Yeah.
It's
So
also the whole
it's-
thing. If you're gonna make a statement or have an opinion, it's like you better be able to back it up. I feel
Yeah, I
this
don't
way.
like empty statements
like-
or empty opinions.
You don't allow people to
and then you
bullshit
say
around it. You
something
don't give
that's
them time
like
to
they say
bullshit.
contradictory stuff, and it's like I literally have it pulled up on my phone. There's stats, and then they just don't want to. I feel different. It's like I have it on my phone. What do you mean?
Nope, you
it's
can't-
right here.
Nope, you can't prove to
Okay,
people
so
that don't want to
contrary
learn.
to everything in this conversation, actually I'm a nice person.
No, you're a mean person.
I think you're very nice.
Dame isn't very.
Hey,
mean.
man, you assertively want to learn. That's awesome.
Speaking of campfires,
Who the hell doesn't?
stoking the flames.
Oh, jeez.
This should be your new nickname, stoking the flames.
Stoking the flames.
Wow, no.
Yeah, stoking the flames.
I genuinely have an interest in people. People intrigue
Me
me.
too.
I really,
I have
really
a degree
do.
in it. That's why.
Yes.
They really intrigue me. I love to hear somebody talk about something they're passionate about.
Yes.
And I love to hear people like, I want to hear why you think this. Like, what brought you to this? What happened in your life that made you think about this?
Yes.
I want to hear that
Yes.
because I want to see if it's something I can relate to because maybe I'm getting this wrong the whole time. And if I can relate to something that brought you to this, then maybe I can see why you like this is going to make sense to me.
You end up
why you
learning
think like
something
this.
about
I'll learn
yourself.
something. Yeah.
As you learn about other people.
You know, I love it. I love the back and forth. I don't do it to people. I'm expecting them to do it back to me. I don't do it as a bully tactic.
Yeah, most people
I
don't do
want
that.
people to do it
Yeah,
back to
they're
me.
not.
I want the rapid fire. I want
That's
the
why
conversation.
I like this podcast because I like to ask you questions about things that are counter to
you-
how I behave.
Yeah, and do you feel like in
Very
our friends
curious.
group that happens a lot
What happens a lot?
to backfire?
Only with two
counterpoints.
people.
Yeah, exactly. There's not too many.
There's only a
it's
couple of
always
people
aggressive.
that actually. Here's the problem I have is when I think I'm actually getting to the point to where we're really getting somewhere with it, they don't know how not to take it personal.
Yeah.
Leave it on the field.
Yeah.
That's my coach used to say.
Leave it on the field.
They don't know how not to take it personal. And then the
Exactly.
minute they start taking it personal, we're done. Like, because they can't now everything I'm saying to them or doing to them is personal.
Exactly.
It's no longer about the topic anymore.
Exactly.
And that's where I get frustrated. I'm like, dude, you're my friend. You're like we're gonna hug and still drink and you still come to my house and like you're my friend. This is neat. I'm not attacking you. I'm questioning you.
People are not used to backing up what they say.
People aren't used to being asked questions in a non.
They're not used to having to
interrogative way.
explain themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because this new
How dare you
generation,
be curious about me? I really think it's an attack. You're asking me. So
well,
that
no,
you can
this
use it
new
against me
generation
later
is
and
very
attack
much
me.
Because I said so.
Yeah.
I
Or
identify.
I feel this way.
I identify this because I said so, or I identify this because that's how I feel. Well, why? Why are you asking me why? Well, because you didn't just wake up one day and yawn and stretch and go,
Download
I'm
all this from the
feeling
universe.
this,
Yeah.
and this is how I'm going to walk my life. There had to have been a series of events that have happened for this to even become something that you wanted to do, because you're now saying it's a choice. You're choosing to do this. I'm curious what those series of events are,
How did you come to that decision?
because those series of events helps me understand the thing that you're doing now.
Okay, so here's the problem. This is why I asked.
This
who's
was
in-
supposed to be a light podcast.
This is
This
great.
is light.
This
I'm
is very
getting triggered
light.
now because people do this shit and
Yeah.
drives me fucking crazy.
This is light.
God.
So, the difference between an intuitive type, the N, and a sensing type, the S, is that the sensing type takes in a lot of information from the outside, which is what I do. Mm-hmm. But our friend group, including you, but you're right on the border.
I'm the 50-something.
You're 50 exactly. You're right on that border. The N type is intuitive. They use what they know internally. They say, well, just because. I don't know why. It's because I feel like that. And that this F type is the feeling, but whatever. So luckily, you're an N and a T, which means you use a lot of thinking. So you would go through a lot of rational, analytical processes. Mm-hmm. And then feeling types are more, what's the right word? Not empathetic, but they're more based in
the abstract.
Yeah, abstract, going along with how what it's good for the group, not necessarily what's most logical, that kind of thing. So they'll go based on how people feel about something instead of what's actually the right organized structure of a thing. So N is internal. They focus on how they perceive a situation, not necessarily taking in facts from the outside. So the opinions are theirs and not based in research. And I have a problem with that. Mm-hmm. I have no ability to argue. I shouldn't say argue, but debate with people who are N's, because they're coming at me from a place of their own perspective and they're not backing it up with anything real. Mm-hmm. Research or whatever. So we even have people in our friend group who have done research and whatever, but it's really a confirmation bias. They've got their own bias already. They're not actually taking this research and changing their mind about anything. They're just using it to validate their own idea.
Well, that's the whole.
They're
that's
not
the whole
scientists.
basis of statistics. There's 3 ways to look at statistics.
I'm just fascinated. You're an N, but you're still saying that you take other people's external information. You want to learn how they got to their point. An N wouldn't normally want to do that. They wouldn't normally care.
Yeah.
So that's
weird.
interesting to me.
Oh, you want me to throw another monkey wrench into this whole thing?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Pisces.
That's so weird. What's your rising sign?
You told me, I don't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm a Pisces.
I'm a Pisces rising, and Pisces are supposed to be more,
Hey,
we're
keep
criers.
that astrology shit on your own.
We're criers.
You're on your own
Yeah.
shit. We're not doing that here.
I present like a Pisces, but then
We're
once you
not-
get to know me, I'm a
we're not-
Sagittarius. And they're
we're
like,
not-
yeah,
don't
she's a
present
cold, heartless
like a
bitch.
Pisces.
No, you don't. You don't. I present
No.
like a Pisces because I'm a Pisces rising. So whatever your rising sign is what you present as. It's a
Senior has spoken.
Yeah.
Keep that astrology.
So
shit
that's
to
the monkey
yourself.
wrenches. I'm a Pisces.
That's hilarious. I wonder what your
Also don't
the
know
other.
what that
I'll
means.
look. We'll look later.
Yeah,
I'll look
we'll
later
look.
because I'm curious about that.
This shit is triggering.
You being right on that border that makes me happy, because I have a lot of people in our group are INFP or INTJ, and I have trouble.
Right here.
He's an INTJ, which means introverted. Mm-hmm. So I process externally. I talk about everything, and I have to hear myself think, basically.
I let her yammer.
Yeah, I have to hear myself think. S means I have to research. Mm-hmm. Like, you can tell me, make this decision because this, and then I say, why? And you say, because I said so. I'll lose my fucking mind. How dare you ever think that I'm just going to take you at your word without you telling me where you got your information from?
Guess what my favorite thing to say is?
I swear
Because
to God.
I said so?
Yeah, basically. Everything.
Because that's how I feel today.
It's our whole group, though. Our whole group is like that.
Because
And
I said it.
Yeah. And then they never come up with, like, how they got there. Like, you're not an expert. You don't have a degree in this. I about lost my mind. I think it was 2 days ago. I don't remember. About lost my mind about that. Like, how dare you think?
Spin her up.
And I had to drop it. Like, I had to actually de-trigger myself. I'm just sitting in the car, and I'm like, I do not need to be talking about this right now with him. Why am I getting so? He wants me to get spun up. He thinks it's hilarious. I have to just not. I'm like, I'm not talking
Now,
about
see,
this
my
anymore.
answer is not necessarily
Done.
because I said so. My answer is, I will tell you later, but right now I need you to do this.
That's okay. If I trust
I'll say
you,
that.
Oh, dude, that's fine. If I trust you, usually that's like a safety thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if you say duck, I'm going to fucking duck. I'm not stupid.
I need you to just shut up and do what I'm telling you to do, and we can talk about this later.
Yeah. If I trust that somebody is
Yeah.
that way, I'll,
See,
it's going to take me a while.
And that comes back to the whole list thing, because if I said that, I'd have forgot that we had that conversation.
What?
Oh my
completely
gosh.
missed that.
Yeah, I did.
I don't journal either.
Journaling's a little different. It's not
Yeah.
list making. Yeah, journaling.
Yeah, I can't journal.
That's okay.
That's
I have trouble with it. It's another
It seems
psychology
fake
kind
to
of.
me. I can't do it. I get more worried about what I'm putting down than actually just putting it down.
There's a reason why people journal, and if you don't need to, then don't.
Yeah. I tried. It
Yeah,
just didn't
don't.
work
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
I'm
just like
actually
me,
okay
I
with
need
it.
I need lists, but I can't like blog because it's like, all right, I have plenty of writings
so
where
I
I
can
started,
blog.
and it's just like I start talking and I can't like concise it down. All right, in conclusion, this is
Yeah.
what we're gonna do. So
Really? Were you good at research
overthinking.
papers?
Yes, because I remembered the formula. I was not until I got into college, and I had a TA that taught me like, oh, give 2 or 3 facts and then say why. I was like, oh, if I follow those formulas, I went from like a D, C English writer to like a B plus just from that simple thing. Because I used to be like, oh, this is a thing, and be like, there's no why here. You're just stating facts. There needs to be a reason why you're saying that. So once I followed that formula, my grades went up. So I'm better at research papers, but when it's just me giving my own opinion, then I need to like figure out like in conclusion, this is what I'm trying to say.
I need that from you. I won awards for my research papers. Like, I had my college professors tell me I should be published, and they were like, why are you not published? And it was just a lack of confidence. So I am a hard S. I do research things.
Right? Yes, this is why we share podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when you
I
talk
know.
to me and you're like, yeah, just
Here's the
because
thing
I'm like,
about
why do you
research
think
with-
that? And you're like, I just think it. And I'm like, no,
here's
you
the
can't.
thing about research with me is I can do research. I have the ability
I
to do
love it.
research, but I would rather listen to the people who know more than me than read about it.
Well, you're reading
Yes,
what
same
they
Because
say,
thing.
though.
reading gets redundant to me.
Well, it's the same
But
thing.
if
as
I
li-
can listen to a lecture, if I
Yeah.
can hear them say
You might
it,
just be an auditory processor
Yeah.
instead of a visual processor. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But if it's the same person
same
and
thing.
you're reading their book or you're listening to their lecture,
or
it's not about.
podcast or whatever it is. It's the
yeah,
same
but
thing.
I would rather, if I'm doing research, I would rather listen. I
Really?
read for
So you're an
pleasure.
auditory
No,
learner.
research is still
You read
podcasting
for-
is still research.
Nice. You
Yeah, I read for pleasure, not
Yeah.
for
Podcasting is still research.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
social research.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
can be.
I'm auditory and kinesthetic.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
If I can do it, I'll remember it. If I can physically do it. So if I'm learning a new skill,
Yeah.
I have to physically do it and fail and figure it out.
Yeah.
Once I figure it out, I'm good.
Yeah.
But just to watch you, I can learn by watching you, but I actually have to screw it up.
Yeah.
I think
Like
I'm
with board games,
visual.
you're gonna screw up. And
I have to
Ticket to Ride
actually
a few
screw it
times.
up. Yeah.
we're gonna-
It's pretty good.
So we're just gonna play a
Picking my
game
ear
and then you're
over
gonna
here.
lose and then you'll learn afterwards. So,
Kinesthetic.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
hearing.
kinesthetic
Yeah.
too.
I'm auditory and kinesthetic.
I need all the things.
I'm
though.
auditory and
But yeah.
visual, not kinesthetic.
No,
I
no,
don't
but
need to touch the thing.
research and TED Talks. I mean, those are that's part of it. Podcasts, they're all researing. Researching
I
is
have a
just
hobby.
reading, though.
I work with like epoxy. I make cups and I can do arts and crafts things, like all of this, right? I literally watched a YouTube video
Yeah,
and then got on Pinterest
yeah.
and did it, messed something up, and then now like people have bought my shit.
How do you think this whole
So-
thing started,
Yeah.
ma'am? So this is all from a YouTube video.
Yeah.
I learned what this thing was. I'm like, oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
From a YouTube video. YouTube's amazing. I've done plenty of things with my car from YouTube.
Yeah.
Watch it first and then I do it.
That's funny. I don't know if I could do it from YouTube. I bought the owner's manual.
Oh, see, I can't use an owner's manual.
Yeah, I use a manual.
Makes no sense to me. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yep.
like
I go through the book.
Who writes this small? Like, it's annoying because I can't. My mind doesn't translate the pages to the thing.
And always with owner's manuals, they're made by nerds, and they like to
The verbiage
nerd
is
it. Yeah,
horrible.
it's like, oh, the spricket of the thing with the.
I'm a nerd.
Oh, you mean the X thing?
Here's
It's
the big
like-
difference too. I'm a
Just
nerd.
call it the thing, the X thing, the thing that looks like a T.
I love
like,
it.
why?
And
Yeah.
as somebody that's in
Man.
IT, it's like all that knowledge is like, oh, you mean just drag it from over here? Why can't you just
say that?
I love it.
Yes.
That's why YouTube's amazing.
I disagree.
I love YouTube. Yeah, you're a nerd. That's why.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah, so that's why I love YouTube. Is I can
Call
just
the
see what
thing
they're
what
doing.
it is. It's
Yeah.
got a name. You
If
have
I can
to
watch
use
just
its
watch
name.
somebody do it, then I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, okay. Let me go try this thing.
and nerds like naming all the different things and giving it all complex stuff, and it's like, come on, man, I don't need all that.
Yeah, I
Just
can't
show me
do
how to
it.
do the
I
thing.
don't know how I communicate with people or how I have any friends.
Exactly.
I wonder about that.
Well, I know why.
He's gonna say it's my boobs.
Sex. Sex stuff. Senior prony bone.
It's boobs.
Yep, it's good stuff.
Yeah. What about people who aren't interested in that though?
Aren't interested in what?
That.
You got a pretty face.
What about when people don't care about that?
Then they probably won't talk to you.
So does that mean all the people who talk to me are only interested in that and
Pretty
not in
much.
my actual personality?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I would disagree.
Yeah. My greatest fear realized. Thanks. Good knowing you guys. See ya.
He's such a little shit.
Senior doesn't do that. What do you mean?
Such a little shit.
All right.
This is my life.
Anyways, I thank you for that compliment. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good job, buddy.
Where's the button? The clap button.
Yes.
What?
Just the applause.
I think you just used my real name too.
No.
No.
I said
No?
buddy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Buddy.
You, buddy.
If not, I will watch this again. Let me see. That one?
Yeah.
I want the dun 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 dun.
So you brought up an interesting point that like most of the people in our friend group were that certain thing,
N.
the NS or whatever,
Yes,
like
yes.
all that.
Yeah.
Is there a correlation between that and the kink mind?
I have heard
It's a good, great question.
INTJ is actually prevalent, which is his type.
In the kink mind?
INTJ. Yeah. In
I would
the
say
psych-
I, because pretty much like 90% of the people are
Are
I's.
introverts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
in the site we all go to, yeah, a lot of INTJs.
Huh.
The N also, because S is research based, scientific, whatever, which is strange
For
because
the people that are new, go ahead and just say the word instead of just the letter.
intuitive. N is intuitive, which means you're more focused on your own ideas of things, and you live in your own perception
Fantasy?
of the world instead of
What's-
living in instead of gathering information from outside. Like here's a really great example, and you guys will immediately recognize this about me. I have to seek validation from pretty much everyone that my ideas are correct. I always have to ask other people, like, hey, do you think this is a good idea? Do you think this is okay?
Oh,
Which
instead of
is-
just doing
Instead
it.
of just doing it, yeah. I don't have the just go do it. I'm gathering information
Oh, I
constantly.
never ask people that.
I constantly ask. That's all I do. Now, you understand why I have to manifest in secret then.
Yeah.
The exact opposite way of why he has to manifest in secret. If I try to ask if I tell anybody that I'm doing something and I get the slightest amount of criticism, that's a sensory input now that I take as this is a bad idea. I've just gathered an outside input that has, affected my ability to whatever. Because I'm gathering information.
And see, I usually talk about
constantly.
something after I've already done it. Like,
Exactly.
oh my God, I did this thing.
I have to. Yeah.
And then
That's
that way,
the best way to be.
yeah. And then that way, if they're like, "Oh, that's pretty stupid," I'll be like, "No, actually, it worked out
Tough
pretty
shit,
well."
I already
you
did
know,
it.
it's
Yeah.
it's already
Yeah.
gonna
That's the best
happen.
way to be,
Yeah.
according to Dr. K.
I
It's-
very rarely ask people's opinion
Yeah.
before I do something.
Why not?
Why? Because I really don't care.
You don't care.
No. Okay. So
I'm looking for information.
Here's why.
I'm looking for
because
failure
ultimately
rates
I'm the
and-
one that has to experience it, so they can have all the opinions in the world, but I'm the one that has to go through it. And so I need. It doesn't matter their opinion. They can give all the opinions in the world, but they don't have to suffer any of the consequences from their opinions.
Now here's where that
Ultimately, I do.
here's where that gets spun on its head. If you're an intuitive type and I'm a sensing type, in the negative connotation of all this, like that's good. It would give you confidence that this is the positive again. That would give you confidence, like you go out, do something, you don't need anybody else's input. You don't need anybody to tell you if it's a good idea or not. You don't need anybody to give you advice or to, oh, hey, you're going to do that. Hey, my friend did that. They experienced this and it didn't work. So try it this way instead. Nobody's going to tell you that because you're not asking.
Right.
Now, how does that affect your ability to understand the perspectives of other people and be sympathetic and empathetic and to actually listen to them? How does it affect your ability to learn other people's experiences, integrate them into yourself, and see that person for the experience they have, the research they've done, and who they are?
Because I can accept people for what they bring to the table, and it's not
It's not dependent on their credentials, let's say.
Yeah.
It's not conditional.
My experience is not implicative of theirs. I can go to the grocery store and say, I can go to Disney World and say that I'm going to go ride It's a Small World. I don't need your experience to be the same as mine for me to appreciate who you are and your experience and what you brought to the table about it in order to validate my experience with it.
How do you have conversations with people and change your opinion about things because of a debate you have with someone? Like, say we're doing this podcast.
Right.
When you walk out of here, do you feel like enlightened somehow? Like, oh, I never thought about it that way. I think I'm going to integrate that into my mind and change the way I think about it.
I don't necessarily say I'm going to change the way I think about it. I think what happens is it stays in the back of my mind. And if the situation presents itself again, it's now a factor on how I react.
So you're still able to utilize external
it's another tool
experiences.
that I've just added to my toolbox of how I'm going to react.
A lot of the time, hard N. Now you're like at 50%,
Yeah.
so you're right on that border, which is beautiful. I've actually worked harder to be an N so that I have confidence to not ask other people's opinions about anything. Somebody really hard on the N scale will completely ignore everyone else's everythings, and they will go their own way. They have blinders on, they have head down, and they will not listen. They just
No, I love hearing
I
other
know, you're
people's.
50%.
Yeah. I like hearing other people's, but just because I'm listening, and here's the weird part about me is, and this is how
that's why I was asking
friendships-
you specifically.
True friends will survive this. Okay? If I come to you for an advice, if I actually come to you and go, okay, so this is what's going on in my life, let me go through it with you, tell me what you think. And you give me advice.
And then you don't take it.
I don't take it.
Exactly. I will never say, I told you to do this.
Right. I'm not asking for your advice because I'm looking for somebody else to tell me what to do.
I'm looking just for perspective.
I'm looking to say, if you were in this position, what would you do?
You're just looking to learn.
Yes,
Not
because
to make
that's how I
I'm not
learn.
trying to make. Yep, you're not looking for somebody to make the decision for
No.
you. You're looking to learn.
I don't want anybody to make the decision for me.
They
I don't want
shouldn't.
anybody to feel like they can make the decision for me.
That's my life. that's what people do to me.
I want to hear, if I put you in this situation, put yourself in my situation
You're trying
for a
to be
second,
creative.
what would you do? Like, how would you approach this?
Yeah.
And then based on what you say, I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good idea.
That's a
or I can
beautiful-
be like, I don't know if I could do that, or the people that I'm talking about, I don't know if that's what would really happen.
Right.
Like,
you know better your circumstance. So of course, just because it's the experience of the other person doesn't
Right.
mean it maps to your experience too.
But the problem is making sure that you do that with people that don't get ass hurt
Butt
when
hurt,
you
yeah.
don't do what they said. Because it's very easy for them to come back and go, well, why are you asking my opinion? You didn't do what I said last
I
time.
just had a friend ask, and 80 people responded to her. And I asked her Myers-Briggs, and she's an N. Everybody who responded to her, she said, "Oh yeah, thanks for this advice, but I think I'm going to do this." And she said it to almost everybody down. And I thought,
then why are you asking?
I thought, son of a bitch. I bet she's something NFP,
Or
because she doesn't want to plan
I had a
either.
conversation.
And damned if she wasn't an ENFP. And I was like, son of a bitch.
I also had a conversation just like less than a week ago with my submissive, and he was seeking out advice about this thing that he's looking into, and he was telling me all of these people that he asked advice for, and I was like, "Why would you do that?" And he's like, "Why would I do what?" And
Ask
I'm like,
all those people?
"Why did you ask like 10 people
He might be an S.
Why would you ask 10 people their advice on like their opinion and their advice on something?" And he's like, "Well, I was trying to get as many perspectives as possible." I was like, "But what qualified them to give you that perspective?" I said, "You're not even vetting correctly. You're just talking to talk." I was like, "You asked
Maybe
these
he's people
10
pleasing.
people."
He needs them to say it's a good idea.
I said, maybe. I said,
usually
"You
what I'm
asked
doing."
these 10 people." I said, "Why not figure out of the 10 people that you could possibly ask, what are the top 3 people that actually are qualified to give a valid opinion?"
Now that's good. Okay, here's something in computing.
And then
it's called-
only ask those 3, because the other 7 could be giving you bullshit that it's just their opinion, but they don't have the qualifications to offer anything but opinion. And now you're basing your answer off people that really you shouldn't have been asking to begin with.
he based it on sample size instead
Yeah.
of expertise.
And he was
and
just
that's
like,
a technique. It's
I
a
never
computing
thought of
technique.
it that way.
No, yeah. So you're saying he could have more easily, constrained all of that and just asked a few experts instead
Yeah.
of consensus
Like,
checking.
why? You're just
Yeah.
talking to talk, dude.
So-
Like, why are you asking 10 people?
Well, that's how he is. I
was
know
like,
him
do you-
too.
I'm like,
I mean, I probably
no, it
do
is.
that.
But,
Yeah, that's how
but
he
that's
is.
why I pointed out. I'm like,
Yeah.
why put 7 people through this?
It's sample size, like consensus checking.
When-
but did he listen to any of them? That's the kicker. If he said no, they were all crazy. Like, what the
no,
fuck did
I
you
mean,
even
he
ask
listened.
anybody?
He listened to them.
Or was it the wrong idea? I asked
But-
10 people and they were all wrong. Oh shit.
Well, some were giving good advice, and some, were giving advice that like I didn't think was applicable to the situation. They just were asked a question, so they're answering it, but that
Yep.
doesn't make what they're saying valid to what you need.
Now that's there. You just said it. They asked a question, they gave advice, but it doesn't mean it was the right advice for the situation that he needs.
Right.
This girl that posted, I asked her Myers-Briggs because I thought I don't know if my advice, because I did tell her, hey, this worked for me. And then I thought, it worked for me. How the hell do I know it worked for her? And as I read through, she said a bunch of times, she can't stick to a routine. She's not a planner. And I thought, for myself, I'm a J. I'm a planner. I like routine. I like schedules. I like lists. She doesn't.
Yeah.
The things that work for me will not work for her. So I asked her type. And the advice that I gave her, specifically, I changed it. It's advice that I would give someone who wasn't good at planning.
Right.
Who doesn't like planning.
Right.
Damn it, I'm bringing it up because I was so proud of myself. I tailored the advice that I gave to someone based on what they needed, not what I thought they needed.
Well, and see, this goes back to a question I ask people all the time. Are you asking because you need to talk about it, or are you asking because you really want my opinion?
Yep. Are you venting or are you looking for advice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's going to determine how I respond to you. If
Exactly.
you just need me to validate you, I'll sit there and be like, "Child, please, that bitch." I'll do that all day long and help you out.
Yep.
Let me tell you something, buddy. I will never need validation. It's always your opinion.
But if you honestly want my opinion, I'm going to give it to you.
Yep.
But I want to know you want it. I've gotten to the point to where, like, if it's one-on-one, I don't like giving an opinion if they truly don't want it.
Yeah.
Well, nobody likes unsolicited advice either.
Right.
I hate that. And we
Right.
got some people who do that, and I'm starting to get real funny. I have a
just,
couple friends who do a very
I
good
just,
job of calling me out on my bullshit.
Our thing on our group chat that we had going with this last week. I know everybody's suffering, but and I was talking to her about this. I don't understand the point of venting and talking about that. I'm not one of those. I suffer in silence, and it's just like, it sucks, but life goes on. So if I say something,
Yeah,
it's
suffering
usually,
for attention.
Yeah. I just want an opinion. So if I say something, that's why
Something-
people
yeah.
were like calling me out. That's why I wasn't saying anything. It's like, what's the point of this?
He's
Yeah.
so
It sucks.
quiet. No, psst.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Keep going. So yeah, I know. feel like we're in the similar mindset.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I ever come to you with something, it's an opinion because I don't understand venting. I'm not gonna vent.
Well, no, see, I have to think if I've got something seriously going on that I have to solve, or I have a situation, or I have to think about, I have to talk about it.
Right.
Because my mind works quicker than my mouth.
But do you
And
need
so
an
if
opinion?
I actually, it depends.
Or are you just doing it?
I'll
saying
tell somebody, can I just talk at you for a minute?
Or
Okay.
external processors.
And so, because if I actually talk about it, it slows my mind down enough to think about it.
Same.
Where if I just live in my head, it rattles too much.
Yeah, we ruminate. Because we're not internal processors. Shit, I gotta get this out with my mouth.
And this is especially true of like in a relationship, if it's a fight, if it's an argument, that whole, well, go to your separate corners and
nope,
come back.
fuck that.
No, I need to talk. Like, I'm not going to get over this until I talk about it. I have to be able to talk about it.
I can't nod my
Now,
head
I'm
any
not
harder
saying
right now.
that we have to fight. I'm not saying we have to sit here and spar. But in order for me to understand why we're fighting, like where the disconnect came from, I have to be able to talk about this with you, because I can't live in my head with this. It doesn't go away. And the only way for me to slow my thought process down enough to get through it is to talk about it, because talking makes my brain slow down.
External processors. That's it. It's that simple. Introverts
Yeah.
are internal processors. Extroverts are external. Actually, it's not technically that, but yeah, we're external processors. I'm
Yeah,
the
I
same.
have to talk about it. I really have to. Like, I have.
That's why we can do podcasts. We're sitting
Well,
here hashing
yeah.
shit out. You know, we can do this for days.
Do you need a response from whoever you're arguing with, or you just need to get it out?
I would prefer a response, because obviously there's a disconnect that needs to be fixed, and it takes two people to do it.
It's still meant to be a conversation.
It's meant to be a conversation.
It's an externally processed conversation.
Now, if I'm talking to somebody that it doesn't involve, I don't have to get a response.
Right. But I'm
But
saying
if it's the
you're dealing with
person-
an introvert or something, and they process it internally.
We have to find a compromise. I'm all about giving you space. If my partner needs time to calm down, like they cannot
think
have
about
a-
what you said.
I have the ability to give them enough space, but the space isn't going to negate a conversation. We're still going to talk about this. Now, we can either talk about it now while you're heated, or we can talk about it later after you've calmed down. Whatever you need to be able to come to the table with a conversation, but we need to talk about this. Like, I can't just, because if
It's not going to be 2 days later and they're going to say, it's fine now, we don't need to talk.
No,
Yeah.
I can't do, no.
So that's how we break up.
I
Got
can't
it.
do that. I can wait the 2 days.
I can too, yeah.
But not the, well, it's
It was 2 days ago. We're not talking about it anymore.
No,
This
we're
topic's
talking about
over.
this.
This is me looking at my watch. I don't even have a watch on.
No, we're talking about this.
Relationships 101.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. Because
that's-
here's why. Because if I don't, I'm going to fester, and then I'm going to blow up on you about something.
Yeah. 5 days later, you're going to hear about it some way.
I'm gonna end up blowing up on you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm nodding because this is exactly what I do. Yeah. I feel this deeply and viscerally. This
So
is
it
how-
would be,
Sure.
it would behoove you
Yep.
to just have a conversation with me. Because then once I've had the conversation and it's talked out and we're done, I'm not going to blow up about it later,
Exactly.
because it's done.
pretty much-
It's talked about.
Sure. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a gender thing, do you think? Or is it an introvert extrovert thing?
It's
I think it's
100% introvert,
An
extrovert
introvert extrovert thing.
Yeah, not gender based.
No, I don't think
thing.
so.
Hell no.
No, I don't think so.
External processing.
Yeah.
Do I know women like that?
Like
Maybe.
what?
Female introverts. I don't know many female one of our friends.
Oh, I
is.
do.
Yeah, I know
My
one.
ex was one.
Huh.
Yes.
You know
100%,
what? I'm not
yes.
often friends with female introverts. I have one that I know is, and I actually thought she was an extrovert, but she's not. It's interesting.
Yeah, my ex is an introvert. 100%.
Yes.
I wonder if I could get along with people.
Look
I don't
it
know.
up in-
Anyway.
Look it up in the dictionary. There's a picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was also another reason why we were so compatible.
Yeah.
We balanced each other out.
It's a fun balance.
Yeah.
It's a good balance.
Mhm.
I get along usually with male introverts. I just don't know. I don't think I know many female introverts. It's because it's so socially conditioned into women that we're supposed to be accommodating and social and talk to people and whatever. I think it might get plowed over. So I think that they're extroverts, but actually they're introverts.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
I can float back and forth.
Okay, so they also say it's not just about processing; it's about how you recharge.
Ooh.
Yeah, you recharge
do
by
I
yourself
recharge?
or with other people.
Oh, God.
Both.
I'm
There
I'm
we
both too.
go.
I'm 50-50.
both.
This is where we get into it. Energy.
Energy. It's energy.
Basis of
expenditure.
my life.
Yeah.
This is why lists and
This
procrastinating
is how you
all
function. Yeah.
is.
Use energy based.
Because I'm the type that needs to do something extrovertish and I need like 6 months to recover. Mm-hmm. That's why it took so long for this to happen.
I can recharge by going to a sports bar with a bunch of people watching a football game and being in a rowdy environment.
Me too.
I can
I don't even have to talk to them. I'm just there and
just
listening
there.
to all of them. Yeah, that's how I
can
recharge.
so recharge doing that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll take myself to dinner and a movie.
Yep.
I'll go to dinner and a movie by myself. Take a good book, go watch a good movie, and I feel better.
When I am stressed, I want to be alone. When I need to recharge my energy, I want to be around other people.
Yes.
If I'm thinking deeply about a problem or whatever, and it's not really about other people, it's something I need to solve for myself, I have to be alone.
Or because my work is so extroverted, I have to talk a lot. I'm constantly around people. I'm never alone at work.
Ugh.
Sometimes I just need to not be talked at.
Yeah.
Or I need to not be asked a question.
It's my life too.
I'll zone out to a stupid TV show. Like just sit on the couch and just zone out to a stupid TV show.
Now, do you consider that extroverted because somebody's still talking to you? Even
No,
though
they're
on
not because I
TV?
can tune them out.
Or they're just talking.
They're just talking.
Yeah. But you're not alone. You've got, a pretend person in the house. I don't know. Yeah, you're not engaged though.
Yeah.
It's still company.
So like I've had a rough week. So I took myself to dinner and read my book tonight before I
Nice.
came here because it gave me some downtime. I can sit, I can eat. Nobody's asking. I don't have to interact if I don't want to.
And you can zone out and read a book in public like that?
Oh, all the time.
I
I
can
have for
do that, yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I in my purse, I have my Kindle with me everywhere I go.
It's easier to zone out in public when there's other people because there's a
Because
low
it's all
drone of
background
conversation.
noise.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
you
can
ignore
go.
it.
I can go to Chili's and sit at the bar.
Oh, I do that for hours. I used to go to Applebee's.
And read a book?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the only place I can. If it's too quiet, I'm expecting somebody to come interrupt me.
No, I just
Oh God.
put
I
lo-fi
don't live-
on.
I don't live
Retrowave.
alone. No, I can't.
Then I read a book
Nope.
before I go to bed.
Somebody to come up and interrupt.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it at a bar. That would drive me insane. I'd read it, but I would not retain anything because I'm paying attention to everybody.
Oh, I can pay attention to everything going on around me.
and
but I
still
can read my book.
retain
Yes.
what you're reading?
Yep.
No. Couldn't do it.
It's that. Well, ours is hypervigilance, but not based in not feeling safe. You're paying attention because you're like waiting for something to go on. We're just paying attention because people exist.
Yeah. They're
We're not
intriguing.
worried. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just exist.
Yeah, it's good timing. All right, in conclusion, we're all a bunch of weirdos and we get along with each other.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
I need to figure out how to interact more with people who have that N style. I think I did pretty well today.
Yeah.
Helping my friend out. Came at it from her angle. I was proud of myself for that.
That just drives me crazy.
What drives you crazy?
I feel this way.
That you're not talking into your mic.
That's like their answer to everything is, it's just because I
whispering
feel this
into
way.
Oh, that. Yeah.
This is my...
Yeah. Why? Because I said so. Like, just because that's what I think. And I'm like, can you please back this
Well,
up?
no, and then you're specifically asking for people's opinion. Be like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's like, what the...
I'm okay with that because there's sometimes a reason behind it. They're asking for opinions, not necessarily that they're going to enact yours. Maybe they've asked 10 people.
That's stupid.
I don't know. They're looking for
Driving me insane.
a sample size. 7 out of 10 said do
Also,
this.
like you were talking about before, who are you asking these opinions? Like,
Are they
gotta-
qualified?
Yeah, you got to consider this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Are they valuable opinions? Or are
Like
you
with
just
this.
asking because you view them as important people, so you're going to ask them?
Yeah, or because you just need to ask 10 people. Oh, I asked this many people. Okay, well, they're all morons. So what does the number have to do with anything?
What's your qualifier for asking
There
somebody?
you go. The
Yeah, it's
qualifier is
asking-
a little
it's like-
skewed.
Yeah,
Asking a monogamous person about polyamory.
exactly.
What?
Why would I go? Why would I go to a vanilla environment and start asking people's opinions about BDSM?
Yeah. Craziness. Okay.
I wish everybody could see your face right now. There's so much to think about. You look exhausted.
Yeah, there's a lot of triggering stuff going on. Just I don't understand some people. But
Wrapping
that's
up
why we're here.
another episode of
We're here to talk about all this stuff.
Around the
because
Kinky Campfire.
We don't want to be ghosts in other people's stuff. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of people say some dumb stuff. And I heard some dumb stuff today, so that just
well,
kind
there
of
you go.
triggered all that stuff.
Oh, ghosts. I'm like, what the hell's he talking about? Now I know.
Ghosts.
Yeah.
I think I'll tell I'll
there's the
tell
meme.
Dame after the I'll tell Dame
Well,
after.
you tell people now because they're probably feeling the same way.
damn it.
It's
All
like
right.
when you listen to a podcast, it's like you're a ghost because you can hear what people are saying, but you can't interact with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only time you
That's
feel
what it
like a
feels like.
ghost, like this is what it feels like, is when you're listening to a podcast and somebody gets something wrong
And
and
you can't change-
desperately
you can't-
want to
yeah,
correct them
okay.
and you're
There's-
screaming
there's
at
a-
your car.
Yeah.
Oh God, or you know the answer to something and
Like
they can't remember.
I was
and
listening
you know.
to a vanilla
And now
comedy
you're a ghost.
podcast. They started talking about cucks, and it's like, "What's a cuck again?" It's like,
Shit.
It's like I don't get why people would like. There's a reason behind this.
You're looking for the phone
There's a
number. Like,
reason
how do I
why
call them?
But it was like from
Gone on
last.
the
It was a
internet.
year
Where do they
ago.
live?
It was from a year ago.
That doesn't matter. You can answer
my
it now,
God.
right
It's
now.
like, oh God, I just wanted to jump in there. So I don't know
Strangle
how to
them all.
tie it into ours, but it's just like, yeah, it's like I don't understand why guys would want to get trampled on and stuff like that. It's like, first of all, it's not just guys.
It's not just guys.
Oh
my God.
And now we all know how ghosts feel
Yes,
when they.
this is driving me crazy. So
Can't
now we're
move
going to
the cup.
respond to it here. Okay. So, in conclusion,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that episode was about. Personality. We just
You know what? It was
Myers-Briggs.
it was Myers Briggs. It was how to
Yeah.
interact between personality types.
there you go.
That's it. It ended up being a
Yeah,
Myers
pretty
Briggs
much,
type
yeah,
indicator.
All right.
Hope
Well,
you all enjoyed that. Had
that was
nothing to
a-
do with it's
yeah.
kind. You know what? I geeked out. I geeked out on social science.
You geeked out or nerded?
that
out?
was geeked out.
You geeked out.
I
on
just
that?
geeked out. I was
Okay.
geeking out on social science.
All right, sure. Yeah,
Okay.
your turn, and I'm going to talk about superheroes and why Harry Potter sucks.
All
Harry
right.
Potter doesn't suck.
Wow.
Harry Potter
And you can't say it just because people like that piss you off.
Ooh, burn. Yeah.
What people piss me off?
People that say just because.
Ooh.
That's where you were going with
I
that.
have facts. This was supposed to be a light one until we got into this whole thing.
No,
we
this
were
is
supposed to
great.
talk about
He says
why
he has facts.
Yeah,
Superheroes are
facts
better.
that Harry Potter sucks.
Yeah, so Harry
Okay.
I'll talk to you about that offline.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing behind all of this.
No,
Yeah.
there's nothing about this. Anyway,
As I
not-
gather up my
That
Deathly
was-
Hollows purse and get ready to leave.
Yes. It's
Okay.
gorgeous. It's
I'll
gorgeous.
show you my wallet. Pirate side on it.
I have a Star Trek wallet.
And my back of my phone. Plus
Whatever. All right.
Ultra.
Yeah.
Plus Ultra. See?
Yeah.
Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.
Exactly.
Push Zero.
Push Zero.
No, that's our rallying cry. Okay, thank you very much.
Push Zero.
Woohoo!
Do this.
No.
Oh, do this. Do this real quick. Push Zero. Oh, now I just pissed him off. Yes.
What is that? Where did you get that from?
Ah.
You didn't even know what that was.
That's,
Where
an,
you-
that's an
where did you
anime
get-
thing. It's where they do like a yeah.
Is
It's
it?
like
You're
the,
supposed
the
to touch fingers.
no. I've seen the fists.
No, you're supposed
yeah,
to
on
touch
Avatar.
fingertips.
Avatar: Last Airbender. They do fists.
I don't remember that episode. Anyways,
Okay.
doesn't count.
One of the
'Cause I
most
don't-
important episodes.
Doesn't
Whatever.
count
Doesn't
because
count.
He doesn't remember.
Thank you. He's an N.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit about facts. God forbid I actually know the fucking fact.
I was
Yeah.
just joking.
I watched it twice.
We're all recovering here. If you heard a lot
Uh-huh.
of coughing, it's because we're all got the COVID.
We're recovering from Omicron.
No, we got the Omicron.
We got the Omicron.
Omicronita.
Yeah, 17 days it's been. So I just had my PCR, but I haven't had the results.
Hold
yet.
your breath
But
for 10 seconds.
We all had it together, so whatever.
That's the test.
Anyway,
All right. This has been another exciting episode
totally.
of Around the Kinky Campfire. Go
What are
ahead.
you going to
Go
say?
ahead.
I was just going to
No,
say
I gotta
it
go
until
last.
next time.
Yeah. Hello. And you got to introduce yourself again.
Again?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
We literally just did this. I'm so
This
glad
is
you're
Linux.
here.
See you next time.
This is why we
And
do this.
Dame.
And Senior Hello.